Welcome to the socials of 94.3 Radio 1 and yet another episode of Binge Watch. I'm your host Bhaarat, and in this show we talk about iconic TV shows and movies that you can binge watch or have binge watched. So let's begin with today's show. Okay, so drum roll. The show is The Office. It's a show that a lot of us have watched, and I'm talking about the American Office here. It's a show that I personally am a big fanboy of and have watched it for the first time 6 years back, and I continue to do so, keeping up with the name of the show, which is called Binge Watch. It's a show that I've watched and it has incredible rewatchability value. So here's a little about The Office for those who don't know. Okay, so The Office is an American mockumentary sitcom television series that depicts the everyday work lives of office employees at the Scranton, Pennsylvania branch of the fictional Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. It aired on NBC from March 24, 2005 to May 16, 2013, spanning a total of 9 seasons based on the 2001 to 2003 BBC series of the same name created by Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. It was adapted for American television by Greg Daniels, a veteran writer for Saturday Night Live, King of the Hill, and The Simpsons. What I love about the show, actually there are a lot of things that I really love about the show because I've been a huge fan of the show for the longest time, but I'm going to boil it down to a few things that I particularly love about the show. So here goes. Okay, number one. So the show has people in a real life setting doing over the top antics. To name a few, you've got Michael Scott, who's doing the most outrageous things but still, has a heart of gold. And then you have Jim and Dwight, who, pulling off pranks on each other but still sort of love each other. And, as the seasons go, you get to know that their love is much deeper. And then you have Ryan, who's a completely shady character. His character arc is something that people are sort of still trying to figure their way out to. And you have Stanley out of all, who's completely grumpy and you don't even know who Creed is. So that's what I really love about this show. Number two, the great thing about this show is that being a comedy show, it actually blends a lot of subgenres of comedy into its own umbrella. You've got dark comedy, you've got topical comedy, you've got parody, you've got satire, and The Office masterfully crafts all of it together, blends it for you, and serves it to you on a platter. So I think that's commendable. Over to point 3. Number 3, I feel that the casting of the US Office was completely spot on. You already had a UK version which had an iteration of the characters which was so iconic, but at the same time the US actors had their own originality and you actually felt that the actors playing the roles were born to play their part. Naming a few, Michael Scott played by Steve Carell masterfully, and you had Dwight played by Rainn Wilson. So I think you really can't imagine anyone else playing these characters even though there's a UK version, and that's the beauty of the US Office. Over to point number 4. The great thing about the US Office is that despite being a comedy show, a much loved comedy show, it has some great emotional moments. To name a few that come at the top of my mind, the moment where Michael Scott actually goes to Pam's art exhibition and greets her and gives her a hug and buys a painting of the building of Dunder Mifflin, which was so wonderful. And another personal favorite of mine is when Jim goes and consoles Dwight when he's a little sad over his breakup with Angela, and it actually shows that despite all the pranks that they pull off each other, there's a strong brotherhood that is there and they actually love each other and there for each other. So I think The Office really does this so well, where it's just not a comedy show, it's much more than that. So I think that's a great thing about this show. Number 5, The Office actually got better with each season. A lot of people felt, for the people who also watched the UK show, felt that the season 1 of the American Office and the UK Office were very similar tonally. But I think season 2 onwards, the show actually found its own voice and became really unique in its approach. And until season 9, the show kept getting better with each season, which is a rarity for comedy shows, and to sustain that over 200 episodes is an incredible thing. So kudos to them for that. Now let's not forget that The Office is actually one of those rare instances where a TV show has transcended from being popular on TV to actually attaining cult status on streaming as well. For example, Netflix and Peacock are actually paying millions and millions of dollars every year to have the streaming rights of the show. So it speaks volumes of the fact that The Office has actually penetrated through a new generation, Gen Z as we might call it, and it's really still fresh in the memory of the people watching it, and it's really deeply embedded and deeply rooted into pop culture history. A lot of references to The Office are still drawn, and a lot of memes are also centered around The Office. So I think it's really culturally relevant, and the fact that people are still watching it in huge numbers speaks volumes about how well the content has aged. It might be problematic for some, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're going to talk about what I love about the show personally, and here goes the segment, My Favorite. In this segment, I talk to you about the various things that are particularly my favorite from the show. So let's begin. My favorite episode from the show, there are a bunch of them basically because this whole show is something that I really love. But my three favorite moments from the show is the first is the dinner party that Jan and Michael keep for the whole office, and it was damn funny. You guys have to watch it. The second being the episode where Michael goes to Pam's art exhibition and they have this beautiful moment. And the third being the whole Michael Scott Paper Company arc. I think it's one of the most brilliant things that has been executed. It's in season 5, if I'm not wrong. You guys should definitely check it out. So that's my favorite episodes. My favorite seasons has to be between season 2 and season 7, but particularly season 2, season 5. Okay, my favorite characters from the show, Michael Scott, Dwight, Jim, Pam. My favorite dialogue from the show, you know what it is. That's what
she said.
Okay, so we're snapping out of the episode. We're going to play this fun game. I've got two super fans of The Office. I've got Mr. Kobad and the Music Jedi, aka Kobe, and we've got Simran Mehta, who is our favorite in The Office. So we're going to be talking about our favorite show, which is called The Office. And I've got 5 or 6 spicy questions pertaining to The Office, and I'm going to ask them the same. So who would want to begin? I'm the quizmaster today.
I think Kobes, you should go first.
Yes, let's begin with me.
Okay, so, but either of you can answer this. I'm just going to take the lead. Which city is the branch of Dunder Mifflin based in? Scranton?
Scranton, yes.
Okay. Okay. Complete the following line. We are aware of Phyllis, the character from The Office.
Yes.
She had her husband Bob Vance and Bob.
Refrigeration.
Okay. Simran is clearly winning this. So the answer is my question
I
was.
didn't hear the question, nor did I hear the answer.
So my question was, what is the full form? I mean, Bob Vance, Phyllis's husband. Whenever he introduces himself, he gives a card and he says Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration. So she answered that before even. Yeah, so you need to slow it down. We need to make this a little easy for Kobe. Come on. Okay, so Jan, Michael's girlfriend and former boss, she had this candle company that she had founded. What was the name of the candle company?
Candle box.
It was called Serenity by Jan. So neither of you win this. So Simran's leading this by 2-0, but hoping that Kobe makes a strong comeback. Okay, so Michael Scott infamously went on a holiday with Jan.
Oh, I know this.
And in his diary, during legal trial, he wrote something. He wrote a poetic line for Jan, and it went like, I'm going to say, you guys have to complete the second part of the line. So he writes, tan everywhere, fill in the blank.
I know what I'm doing.
No, Kobes, he
No.
gave it away in his question.
Yeah, so tan everywhere. What rhymes with tan? Michael's girlfriend's name.
Jan.
Jan everywhere. So that's what he writes. It's called tan everywhere, Jan everywhere. Then he has a he in the end. So Kobe won. Okay, so it's 2-1. Okay, so Michael Scott in season 5 leaves the company and forms his own company. What is the name of the company?
Ooh,
Zeta?
For those who know, Zeta is a radio term.
the Michael Scott Paper Company.
That's correct. Okay, Simran's clearly leading this. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, we're going to put that sound effects. We've got 3-1 is the segment, the score. Who started the fire?
Can I sing it?
Who started the fire in the office?
Kobes,
In season 2.
Give me a couple of days to think.
Yeah. I'll give you a clue.
It was Rainn Wilson.
No. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
No,
But he
he
was.
didn't.
Rainn Wilson, Dwight's character, started the fire the second time around for that fire drill. You're
The
right.
first one.
You're absolutely right about that. But who started in the first, in the second season?
Jim.
No, what was
No.
the temp's name?
What is the temps? Michael's-
Novak.
Yeah,
He's
but
a
what is his real name?
I think we should give it to him.
Yeah, we should give it to him.
We should give it because he named.
Can't recall.
So Kobe nailed the real name characters of
Yeah.
the.
And this was the question that got 5 bonus points.
Yes. Okay.
I used the Joker.
Kobe's sped up now. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about Michael Scott quotes. Okay. This is the second last question.
That's what she said.
Okay. Yeah. No.
gonna happen.
No. It's not there. It's not there. That's the obvious question. We're not going for that. Okay. The question is complete the following lines. I am not superstitious.
I'm a little suspicious.
Yes. Okay. So Simran, it's 3-2 now. Okay. Or if I'm not, I think it's 4-2.
No, it's
3. It's 3-2. Okay. So
I
this
think
is
it's 5-3.
Kobe now. We can't use that. I
The
mean.
bonus points are gone.
Maybe for the next quiz. Okay. So the last question is going to be, what was the name of the brand for the people who watched the show in entirety for the 9 seasons? What was the name of the brand that David Wallace founded with his son? He calls Michael Scott to his jacuzzi and he sits him down. It's a profanity. It's a profanity.
My tongue. It's.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's a profanity, Kobe. Come on.
Why don't I remember this?
Come on.
Codes were letting you have it, you know.
Come on.
Does it start with E?
No.
No, then I don't know.
It starts with S. That's the biggest. Could you go and... I mean...
Shit.
No. No. I should give it away. Okay. It's
Yeah.
called Suck It.
Oh.
Okay. So we're going to do one more tiebreaker question. Whom does Dwight end up marrying?
Angela.
Angela?
Angela.
Okay. So the verdict is, with fierce competition from Kobe, Simran has still managed to sail through and
Fierce
win
competition.
the Office quiz. So for this episode, Simran is the Office super fan, but Kobe did a wonderful job because he got more trivial about who were the people playing the characters. So we have to give it to Kobe as well. Thank you so much, Kobe.
I do
Well
have
done.
one question for you.
Okay.
In the parkour episode,
Yes.
how many times did Michael Scott say parkour?
572 times.
It's 17.
It's 17 times?
Yes.
How do you know that? That's so
Hardcore
cool.
parkour. Kobe said on a lot of
Bharat's gonna
confidence.
do like a parkour for this.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm going to
Episode.
run and yes, back to the episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Binge Watch. Until next time, please do subscribe to 94.3 Radio 1 and I'll see you soon.
94.3
One world, your station.
Radio 1.